we go. How are y'all today? I had a disaster in the kitchen. Nearly everything that I tried to do went to seed yesterday, so I'm starting again today. I was going to make you a lovely key lime pie, but then I saw a recipe for a marshmallow pie, and I've tweaked it a little bit to make it my own. This is supposed to be a good substitute for a no-bake cheesecake. So I had already made my graham cracker crust, and it's been chilling in the fridge. You can buy the pre-made graham cracker crust if you want it to taste like cardboard. You can also get the pre-made pie shells and just pop them in the oven. You can make it from scratch. Since we do gluten-free, what I use is the Pamela's gluten-free graham crackers, and there is a recipe on the back of their box, which is just 1 box of those graham crackers crushed with a 1/4 cup of sugar and then 6 tablespoons of melted butter. Put it in the pie shell and bake it until it's done, like 10 or 12 minutes. But what we're going to do is we're going to get started. I'm going to read you these ingredients, and then I'm going to start. This is a half of a 10.5 ounce pack of marshmallows. So I'm using half of this, and I'm just going to eyeball it. A 1/2 cup of milk, 8 ounces of cream cheese softened. I was too lazy to soften it. 1 egg yolk. It calls for lemon, but I'm leaving that out because I want mine plain. A cup of heavy cream, and then your prepared pie crust. So what you do is you cook the marshmallows with the milk until it's melted, and then you throw everything in together. I'm going to do the finger work first. So the first thing I'm going to do is whip up the heavy cream. You're supposed to put it in for soft peaks, which is just fine. Mine might be a little bit heavier than that, but it's all right. Usually when it calls for something like that, the recipe isn't terribly sensitive. So I'm going to put this in my handy dandy steel container. Okay, so this is my 1/2 cup measure. The wonderful thing about this particular recipe is it does not call for Cool Whip. Some of you are like us. Cool Whip really tears our stomachs up. Don't get me wrong, it's delicious, but we just can't do it. If you have a stand mixer, you can just let this mix itself. And if you have a dog or a cat, they can lick this clean for you. All righty. Soft peaks. Soft peaks don't take very long. I'll probably do medium because I'm a bitch like that. I did something today. I did a lot of research on uranium glass, and I went and I bought some. It's perfectly safe. I didn't know that. You know why? Because they bought it sealed with lead. Lead is what makes it safe to eat food on uranium glass. Lead. I went to the antique mall in Westerville, and the gentleman that runs it is getting married next week. I'm so happy for him. Now, because I'm a witch, I'm going to let this do itself while I unclamp this. It's going to be messy. Get the egg yolk first. There we go. If you do little bits at a time like this, you're going to save so much time. You can put this in the microwave for a few seconds. Take it out of the plastic container first, though. Yeah? Small basket. Mix it in really good. There we have just demonstrated the reason why they tell you to soften this, because it's going to be hard to mix up if you don't. But I'm a determined bitch and I'm going to do it anyways. There we go. Okay, those peaks are done. Now, while we're waiting on this, we're going to put half of the marshmallows in here. This is coming together really quickly. That looks about right. Almost done. Now, 1/2 cup milk. Putting this on medium heat. You know what? I'm just going to use my same measuring cup, 1/2 cup. There we go. Now, if you have never melted marshmallows before, do not leave your pan of marshmallows because this is going to melt fast. So I've got 2 things going on at once, but I'm here. A lot of people say that their food burns or doesn't get done right because they're not paying attention. Trust me, there is plenty to pay attention to in your kitchen while you're cooking. You don't need to watch TV. Listen, music though. Okay, that's mixed up good enough. So while this is melting over medium heat, I'm going to put my cold stuff away. There are so many variations of this no-bake pie dessert. Some people line the pie crust with fruit or chocolate, or add peanut butter into the mix, or add pumpkin and pumpkin pie spice. The recipe that I found first calls for lemon juice. We're going to do this plain first to see how we like it before we decide what we want to add. One variation that I saw of it had chocolate ganache over the top and fresh strawberries chopped up on top in a chocolate cookie crust. Now, what you can do if you're gluten-free, Oreo has some gluten-free cookies. You can just take the cream out and crush that up, but Oreos give us the tummy grumbles, and a lot of people have told me that they do. You can use the Pamela's and use the same recipe for the graham cracker crust. Just put in some cocoa powder. That's all you have to do. I usually do 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup when I do that. Some people will just do a few tablespoons. I really like chocolate, and if you want to make it really good, put in some powdered espresso also. That makes it lovely. So I'm going to double check my instructions here. After this melts, you melt it, bring it to a boil. So I'm going to turn this up. Cream cheese is beaten, stirred in the egg yolk. So the egg and cream cheese gets mixed in with this first a little bit at a time. Mix it to where it's completely smooth, and then the heavy cream goes in next. So what I'm going to do is pour all of this hot stuff in with the heavy cream. So some people say to be very careful, especially if you're pregnant or if you're worried about getting a food bacteria. So I'm going to go ahead and have that disclaimer. But since you bring this to the boil and then you put the eggs in with that, I would not worry if I were you. I'm going to just beat this heavy cream just a little bit more because I feel like it. This is coming together really quickly. want to melt these marshmallows. I did see a recipe for this that the marshmallows were not melted, and it looked repulsive, in my opinion. Kind of this way, if you like it, that's cool. I will not be doing that. So this is, you can see these are still lumpy. But it's starting to soften up. Okay, there we go. Some recipes call for, okay, almost now. With marshmallows, when you're melting them, you want to make sure to stir the whole time so that they do not stick. You do not want this to stick and blacken, or it will screw with the taste of the marshmallows, and you don't want that. And almost. I make a marshmallow fluff frosting too with the whole marshmallows. I do not buy the jar of fluff because it's got all kinds of stuff in it. Almost. You want to make sure this is completely smooth. This is what takes the longest, and we're done. So, fix this here. This first. A bit at a time. Stir, 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 stir. So this is an egg and marshmallow and cream cheese and whipped cream pie. Stir, stir, stir. More. I'm going to put it back on the heat for just a second because it makes it easier. Stir, 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 stir. And the last of it. I can really see how chocolate would be great with this. You can have that wonderful cream cheese and whipped cream flavor. That marshmallow just makes everything all the better. If you've been watching any amount of my videos, you will notice that I always, when I'm wearing makeup, wear really loud lipstick. I don't know when I started doing that. I did not grow up with someone who did that. She wore the loud eye makeup. I reckon I need to warn people that I got a big mouth and that I'm coming. So you're going to want to stir this until it's completely smooth. And then all of this is going to go in with your cream. At this point, if you're using the Cool Whip recipe, you would add the Cool Whip. Just gonna beat this till it's smooth. It's nearly done. We're 15 minutes in. It'll take me about 5 minutes to clean up. This is supposed to chill in the fridge for a few hours. I am going to taste this stuff. Just pour it on top of the fridge. Check. It does taste like a little bit This has a lighter flavor though. And we're going to lower this so you can see. Okay. This tastes quite a bit like a no-bake cheesecake, but it is lighter. This is less sweet. It's in the fridge. So for those of you who do not like cloyingly sweet desserts, I am going to recommend this. That's quite nice, actually. You know, what I would like to do is I like to take my strawberries and cook them down and then make a cornstarch slurry and thicken them up and drizzle that on top and then maybe some chocolate. Well, anyways, that has been Eating with April's, and I do recommend this easy recipe. Enjoy your week.